Will you marry me? As I walked into a cafe during my business trip, I saw a man proposing to a woman with a vibrant bouquet of red roses in hand. But to my shock, that man was my husband, Jones. As I stood there, eyes wide in disbelief, the unfamiliar woman bashfully nodded her head, and Jones beamed with joy. Congratulations! Without thinking, I clapped and cheered, and soon the whole cafe joined in the celebration. That's when Jones noticed me, and he turned pale as a ghost. I approached the woman, handing her something, and she broke into a wide smile. My name's Betty, and I'm 48 years old. Jones and I have been married for 25 years. A few years into our marriage, our son Mark was born. Jones seldom helped with housework or childcare, so I raised Mark while working full-time. Last year, Mark moved out after getting a job and now works alongside me. I thought Jones and I could enjoy some quality time, just the two of us. But on his days off, he'd start drinking beer in the afternoon and play games on his phone. He spends most of his time alone. Just want to watch a movie sometime. It's boring going out with an old hag like you. Playing games is way more fun. Will, excuse me. Oh, I got a message. Going out with some buddies. Lately, Reikuul Takamazik learns often dressed up, humming tunes, and went out. It felt lonely, but I figured that's what happens in long marriages. Then one day, after finishing some work on a business trip, I entered a cafe. A man was on one knee, proposing. I promise to make you happy. Please, marry me. Holding a bouquet of red roses. He was proposing to a woman in her late 20s. And can it be? Recognizing that voice? I moved to get a better look. It was undeniably Jones. Is this for real? Ever in my wildest dreams did I expect to see such a scene? I was so shocked that I wondered if I was dreaming. Frozen in place, my eyes widened, and the woman on the other end shyly opened her mouth. If you're okay with someone like me, then yes. Jones grinned from ear to ear. Best wishes on your engagement. My cheer set off a chain reaction, and the entire cafe erupted in applause. The chance of what a successful proposal, and best of luck echoed. When I tried to see the expression on my husband's face, given the situation, he quickly averted his eyes. I got so nervous. I'm sweating bullets. Excuse me for a moment. Then began to wipe his face with a napkin, but the sweat just wouldn't stop. Triggering him, I handed my business card to the woman. She seemed shocked at first, but after a brief moment, she gave a warm and gentle smile. Thank you. If you ever need assistance, give me a call. Jones was so absorbed in himself that he seemed oblivious to our conversation. Losing my appetite, I left the cafe and sat on a bench in a nearby park, lost in thought. Should I have confronted Jones then and there? The earlier scene keeps replaying in my head, making me so sad. After a bit, I pulled out my smartphone and dialed my husband's number. But while the phone rang, there was no sign of him picking up. Couldn't even leave a message because it didn't go to voicemail. The next day, when I returned home from my business trip, the house felt eerily empty. Yes, I checked the closet and found only my husband's stuff missing. It's on the living room table. There was a filled-out divorce paper and our wedding rings, wrapped, leaving without even discussing the reason. Really, desperately wanting to talk to Jones. I kept calling. Finally, he answered. Geez, stop calling over and over. After 25 years together, you're just gonna leave without saying anything. I thought you'd understand when you saw me proposing yesterday. Why would you leave me for her? I'm sick of looking at your aging face. I want to start a new chapter with a young woman, he said, laughing smugly. Is it that men prefer younger women? The 25 years we spent together as a couple now seem meaningless. As I was about to hang up, Joan said, wait a sec. Yes, we're fully booked for the next 6 months. In a moment of sarcasm, I handed her my business card right in front of my husband. I thought maybe I could get in touch with her in the future. I did say, contact me anytime, but even if they book, it's way down the road. So, make a reservation for us at the most expensive venue. It's a kind of wedding gift from you to me, and let's keep it a surprise for Jennifer. Yes. Well, think of it as a gift for me, like a thank you. And hey, keep it a secret from Jennifer until the day. I want to surprise her big time. This was what on earth is he talking about? Having a wedding without the bride's knowledge is unrealistic in so many ways. I tried to refuse, but Jones wouldn't hear any of it. Just do it, and you better find someone good for yourself. After saying what he wanted, the chapty does tickens, Hannah. Everything happened so fast. I felt empty and heartbroken just listening to the call's disconnect sound. Couldn't find the courage to sign the divorce papers, so time just passed. Meanwhile, my insensitive husband kept leaving voicemails like, "Have you submitted the divorce papers?" Each time I heard his voice, my emptiness turned to anger. Out of curiosity about the woman who chose him, I did some digging and started understanding why he chose her. I see. So that's what it is. And then, I made a decision. Around that time, a cancellation opened up at the wedding venue he wanted. So, I called Jones. "I'll give you the divorce papers. The wedding venue is available in 3 months. I'd come over for the details. I don't want the staff to know we've split up." Finally coming to your senses. No sobbing, okay. I've moved on. You can relax. Jones seemed relieved by my reply. He came to our home in the evening, all excited. It's in the living room. I handed him his favorite beer and the divorce papers, and he looked pleased. "Last supper, huh?" "Not exactly. Have some of your favorite wine too." After opening the wine and getting in a good mood, I asked something I'd been curious about. "How did you meet her?" "Met Jennifer through a mobile game." "Why?" "Thinking of finding someone for myself." "How did you get someone 20 years younger?" "She wasn't used to guys. I was kind to her, and she fell for me." "You're quite the charmer, aren't you?" Being flattered by my compliments, my husband began to detail the ins and outs of his relationship with her. They became close while chatting as they played games online. You wouldn't believe it, but she's actually a savvy businesswoman. Between you and me, she's not my type, because she's not the best looking, you know? So you fell for her personality then. Not that either. First depicts a woman as headstrong and self-centered as her. I wouldn't give her the time of day if she wasn't loaded. I proposed because with her, I can enjoy the high life without lifting a finger. Sure, cunning. But if you got her, you must be something special. Thanks for the enlightening story. After listening to his tales for a while, when I broached the subject of splitting our assets, he unexpectedly said, "She's got money to burn, so I don't need anything. You, being the less fortunate one, can have this house and everything else." And with that, he even drafted a written agreement for me. So shared properties and the house are all mine for real. Consider it a gift to you who'll lead a lonely life after this. Be grateful. Please send out the wedding invites for me. I'll leave everything else to you two. And to my surprise, Jones had already brought details, like her measurements and the guest list. Just to let you know, I've told her and her cousin that this is my first marriage, so don't invite any of our relatives. Got it. I'll make it a wedding she'll never forget, holding the divorce papers. Jones waved enthusiastically and skipped away contentedly. I immediately started preparations, meticulously arranging everything. In no time, 3 months passed and the wedding day arrived. Upon arrival of the unsuspecting bride, Jennifer was informed that this was a surprise wedding just for her. She was then escorted to the bridal suite, where she donned a pristine white wedding gown. The venue was filled with numerous family members, all wrapped up in a celebratory mood, taking on the role of the MC. I announced, now introducing the bride and groom as the wedding march began to play. Jones dressed in a sharp white tuxedo, and Jennifer slowly made her entrance. When the time came for the vows, Jones confidently declared, "I vow to cherish you all my life." However, Jennifer looked down, silent. "Jennifer, what's wrong? Feeling shy?" Just a moment." Jones tried to comfort the visibly flustered Jennifer, but she seemed more and more distressed. Suddenly, a photographer approached, saying, "Dad, don't rush her. Give her a moment." "Huh? You're calling Jones Dad?" The photographer turned out to be Mark, my son, who often helps me with work. Jennifer's eyes widened in shock. "There's no way I am your dad. What are you talking about? Did you forget about me just because you divorced Mom? Anyway, congrats on the marriage, Dad." Mark's congratulatory words caused a stir in the hall. Thanks in a panic. Jones gave me a desperate look as if pleading, "Do something." I responded with a wink and signaled the staff. Suddenly, the lights dimmed, the music stopped, and a video of a drunken Jones appeared on a large screen. It showed our conversation from 3 months ago when he came to hand over the divorce papers. She fell for me easily, because all she does is work and play games. Regardless of her being young, she's not pretty enough for me. I wouldn't bother with a woman like her if she wasn't filthy rich. Hearing Jones spout these nasty words about her, the attendees exchanged glances. Jennifer's face tensed up, and she squeezed the bouquet she was holding. "Stop it. Please turn it off. Don't you think it's about time you quit making fun of people?" "Jennifer, this is fake." Someone's playing a sick joke on me. Jones was pale, sweating profusely. Oh, this. Just the uncut version I recorded. Did you forget our little chat? Get our little chat from 3 months ago. Stop this nonsense. You have no right to ruin my happiness. As Jones, filled with anger, tried to approach me, Mike held him back, taking the microphone. I smiled at the attendees. Dear guests, allow me to introduce myself. I am Jones' ex-wife, Betty. Jennifer's family, you were led to believe this is his first marriage, but that's a bald-faced lie. He discarded me like trash after 25 long years together. He's truly despicable. I feel so foolish to have been deceived by such a man. Jennifer surprisingly agreed with me, causing Jones to be in disbelief. What? What's going on? On the day he proposed to Jennifer at the cafe, I'd also received her business card. That's why I reached out to her for the wedding dress fitting. You handed me Jennifer's measurements, didn't you? You can't just get the perfect wedding dress with that information alone. So, I met up with Jennifer and showed her the video. 3 months earlier, she had quivered with fury, tears brimming in her eyes, and exclaimed, I won't let Jones get away with this. I'll deal with him now. I informed her about Jones' secret plan to surprise her with a wedding, suggesting if she's going to get revenge, might as well corner him. That's a low blow. Darn it, you ruined my special day. This isn't over. Too bad, you might not be safe before you get to me. Not only Jennifer, but her entire family was glaring fiercely at Jones. Encircling him, Rich Jones, sensing trouble, shook off his son's grip and frantically began to prostrate himself before her family. But no one defended him. Jones, look up. Jennifer's voice must have seemed like a saving grace to him. Wait, are you forgiving me? However, before he could finish, Jennifer slapped him across the face with a resounding smack. The force was so intense that a bright red handprint appeared on his cheek, instantly leaving Jones crumpled on the ground. Jennifer bowed deeply to me and the attendees saying thank you and briskly exited the venue. I apologize for the drama. Since the bride has left, today's ceremony will be cancelled. Everyone, please take your gifts back. Hey, you can't just decide that. The husband, still with the red mark on his cheek, lunged at me in frustration, but was promptly restrained by his son. Actually, when Jennifer consulted me about what to do with the gifts, I suggested they should be returned. That's why our staff was handling the reception to ensure swift returns. It seems you've forgotten, but I'll be demanding $14,000 for the affair. And she will too, of course. And seriously? Oh, there's more. Please pay $70,000 for the wedding expenses in one lump sum. That's too much. That's basically your gift to us. Do you have rocks for grains? My gift was just reserving the venue. Oh, my apologies. I made a mistake in the wedding costs. Jones seemed relieved for a moment and said arrogantly, I thought so, but the actual cost is $77,000, including tax. Please ensure it's paid by the due date. What? That's impossible. That's the price for the venue, no discounts. At least give me my house back. I've already sold it. So how was it? It's an unforgettable wedding, right? Oh, this is the worst. Well, all the guests have left. Time to wrap things up. At my signal, the venue was cleared out astonishingly fast. All that remained was Jones, in his white tuxedo, a pitiful sight. He seemed utterly defeated, like a man who'd had his soul wrecked out. Life ahead will surely be tough for him. With the money from the house I acquired from Jones, I bought a small apartment and started living alone. Having a space all to myself, I realized how much I had been manipulated by him. Work was going well, and I was promoted to manage a big wedding venue. It feels like my luck has changed for the better since I broke up with Jones. I'm going to enjoy every bit of my life from now on. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. If you resonated with the content, please leave a positive rating and a comment